Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. In this week's Project Playback video, I'll be sharing the Spanner panel card. This one's really fun. It has a little piece that bridges over the front and then several different panels to stamp images on. I'm using the new Sweet Songbirds Bundle from the upcoming 2022 to 2023 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. In the video, I'll be using the Peaceful Play Suite from the last mini catalog, but the measurements are all the same. So no matter what you have at home, I hope that you'll give the Spanner panel card a try. You can share your cards in Julie's Stamping Spot Share and Connect group on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching today. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future paper crafting videos. This is one that was inspired by the Great Big Card Swap. So in the card swap, there were 3 cards that used the Peaceful Cabin stamp set, and all 3 cards were like the same card design, just using different patterns of designer paper. So I really loved the idea of doing a spanner card with this stamp set and with this designer paper. And so inspired by all of these cards from the Great Big Card Swap, I designed a card that's pretty similar. I mean, all these are pretty much the same. So I'll show you my version. This card is from Anne Schillinger. This one is from Kay Johnson. And this one is from Patsy Marshall. So 3 people who participated in the Great Big Card Swap will get one of these cards back. And if you love that card too and want to make it at home, I'll be sharing the measurements so that you can stamp and make this card at home. So we're using the dies that coordinate with the Peaceful Cabin and also the Peaceful Place designer paper. I'm sorry, I forgot to put little post-it notes on these pieces. But I will include the measurements in the video description when I'm all done. So if you want to come back and take a look at that, you can. So let's start with our card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5 basic gray cardstock, and I have scored in half at 4 1/4. And then I cut from the end to the fold. Now, the first time I made this, I cut 1 inch. I did 1 1/4 inch, and then I did a 1 inch piece of designer paper, but I wanted to have the center be a little bit bigger. So on this one, I cut at, oh golly, I think it's 1 1/8. Let me just measure that really quick. Yes, 1 1/8. There. 1 1/8. And the other cards, some of them were a little skinnier, like this one's skinny and this one is bigger. So like, it doesn't matter. You can adjust to your own designer paper and to your own style. But I did 1 1/8 inch from each end. And then for the piece that goes in the middle, the designer paper is 3 inches by 4 inches. I loved just the simplicity of that measurement. So 3 inches by 4 inches, that's going to go in the center. And then the designer paper pieces, you need 4 of these. These are 7/8 inch by 4 inches. So 7/8 inch because the strips on the side are 1 1/8. So we just went 1/4 of an inch less. You do need 4 of them. You're going to have 2 of them go on the front, on those side panels. And then the other 2 are going to go on the inside, evenly spaced from the edges and the top and the bottom. Then for the inside, we have a piece of basic white. It's the same size as the designer paper. So this is 4 by 3. And then I'm layering it onto a piece of smoky slate that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Before I glue these together, I'm going to do a little cheat and I'm going to punch so that I can have a layer for the front of my card. And then this is just going to get covered up, so no one's even going to know. I love to conserve cardstock like that. On the inside, let's do our stamping really quick. We're going to stamp the trees. I'm using smoky slate and then the dark basic gray for the inside sentiment. So let's stamp those. For this, I do need my grid paper. I'm going to use the back side of my seasonal seasonal sale since it's over in just a couple hours. This stamp has 3 trees in it, and I just want really like the corner of just 2 of them. So I'm going to stamp off the edge a little bit there for those trees, and then the big sentiment that is going to go in the center here is, may you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. And while I've got that out, I'm also going to stamp for the front, wishing you the best. Okay, let's glue this down really quick. The double oval punch has both the solid oval and the scallop in one punch. So I punched that white one from this here, and then the other one I've got from the layer. Now I'm going to put this on the gray, and I'm going to tell you, when you're putting this on, like, leave a little more space at the bottom than the top, because when you add this to your card, you're going to end up with a little bit that hangs down, because the inside of the card is 4 1/4, and so see, if you do the same size, it's just going to go over a little bit. I would rather have it like go over than be too short, so that's why I didn't try to cut it smaller, but that's fine. So we're going to add this to the inside right in the center, and then we're just going to trim with scissors to cut off that extra. Okay, this beautiful card is almost done. I love how simple and easy it is. Okay, but we're missing one thing. We're missing the cabin. So this cabin piece is going to cut the piece for the spanner. So for this one, I am using some heavier cardstock. I'm using a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and I've lost my cardstock. I'm just gonna get out another piece. For this one, I did 2 3/4 inches by 5 1/2. And again, this is the thick cardstock because it's going to span those 2 panels, and I want to make sure that it's extra sturdy. So we're going to stamp the cabin, and before we stamp the cabin, I want to show you the die that is going to die cut the cabin. So it has an extended side, and it has like a little snowy hill. Because we need this image to go all the way across the card, I want to make sure that I'm stamping my cabin toward the left side of the card so that I can die cut the whole thing. Now the die does go longer off the edge of both sides, so I don't have to get it perfect. There is a little wiggle room, but I do want to make sure that it is stamped fairly close to the left side. So we're going to stamp this distinctive cabin image. Distinctive is the technique that they use when they create these dies to have such amazing detail here. I just love that image. Okay, so now we're going to use the die, and we're going to cut that out. And I think this will fit in Lucy. So let's get Lucy back out. And this time I'm not going to be silly. I will use my Post-it sticky note to hold the die in place. We don't want any chances here. And the Post-it just has a nice removable adhesive, so it'll hold the die in place and then easily remove when we're all done. I'm noticing something. Let me show you. Remember how I said, like, you want to do it to the left side? I didn't get quite over far enough. I had plenty of room on this side, but it didn't quite get to the edge. But that is okay. It's really easy to fix that. We're just going to take the scissors and give that a little snip to complete the cut all the way across. Okay, there is our cabin piece. get this back in. Look at these awesome dies that come in this set. We have this detailed cabin as well as some detailed trees, some snowflakes. This one die cuts the tree image, and then there's some fence, and this die cuts the fence image as well. Really cool dies. This is a nice set. Okay, our card is nearly complete. We're going to use tear and tape to attach the cabin to the card. A little lint on that piece. So I'm going to use one piece on each end. And if you wanted to, you could use more, as long as you don't go past like the side here, because you don't want it to glue the center down. So just a piece on each end, and then it's going to go all the way to the bottom of the card. Spanning those two side panels. So it's called the Spanner Panel Card. And then to finish it off, our little greeting on the front is going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. You know what? We're not quite done. We need one more thing. This card is so beautiful, and we have the sparkle in the designer paper. Do you see that specialty foil? But I think we need a little more sparkle. So we're going to use the Wink of Stella glitter brush to color the snow on the rooftop and a little bit here in the front. Little sparkle. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. Let me, I feel like I need to squeeze out just a little more. It's probably time for a new Wink of Stella. When I put my order in tonight, I'll have to add another one. Oh my gosh, I love how simple and beautiful this card is. So we have the front, and then the middle card, and then the inside. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Thank you to our swappers who inspired me. Let me get those out again and just show you, like, these are, we all use the same Peaceful Place designer paper and did the same kind of thing. Here we've got the fence on Anne's card. The added snowflakes are a fun embellishment on Kay's card. And then I love the die cut trees, the black trees and the other ones here, and then the ribbon on Patsy's cards. Okay, that's it for today. I'm so glad that you were able to join me for this project Playback. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time with another Project Playback.